Texans fans, it's Lance Hayes with Sports Social Live, and today we're doing our Tuesday Texans takes. Let's get it. Give me my theme music. All right, Texans fans, I am here today to discuss the Texans takes for this Tuesday, October 23rd, 2024. It's going to be a good day. It's going to be a good day. So I want to get right to it and not belabor the moment because we have Tuesday hot takes and it's the middle of the day for me here in Japan. I am the number one Texans global fan, and I've done it in multiple countries since I've been an adult. And I've been a Texans fan since 1999. So without further ado, I am going to go with my number one Texans Tuesday hot take, or whatever you want to call it. We have to bench Green. The Texans have to bench Green. It's time to shake things up, and the first way to shake things up is by benching the big fella. Green has been absolutely terrible this season for the Texans. He has been one of the worst linemen in the NFL, and he can't pick up a blitz or a four-man pressure, let alone blitzing pressure from defensive line, especially if they're a top 7 defensive line. We have to bench not Kendrick Green. We have to bench Green. Let's keep it there before I get tongue-tied. We have to change up the line and make a hard stance and show that we have grit and tenacity for the team. Green's performance has regressed over the past seasons. He hasn't been too healthy, and even when he's on the field, it just does not look like he's meshing well with what Bobby Slowick wants to do. I believe that Kenyon Green is how do I say this without cussing? He's soft. It looks soft. It's embarrassing, the style of play. It just does not make sense for the Texans with all the firepower that we have to keep him on the field, impacting and just making it hard for the Texans offense to be successful. So a couple of questions I would have for you in the comments, if you can. How long would you give Green until he performs up to par? Do you leave him on the field? Do you agree with my take? What does it take for DeMeco to make a stand and show that we want to win these games and be a Super Bowl contending team, as everybody is saying? He said he wants to shake things up and make things happen. Making a move like this is not a hard move, especially when you have played historically with a hodgepodge of mix and match linemen. I think that we should go ahead and bench Green, make a statement, because they're playing like they don't have the ability to be benched or cut. We need to make that statement, and we need to make it now. So that's my number one Tuesday Texan take, benching Kendrick Green. Number two Texans take is we have to make an O-line trade. The Texans need to show that we want to win games. I believe that that's something that a lot of NFL teams should try to do when you want to bring in new talent. New talent goes places that are attractive, that's sexy, tax-free. The Texans are all of the above. Diggs liked it. He can come out there and enjoy himself. I mean, Watson liked it, and he enjoyed himself a little too much. Hop liked it. Houston is a place where people do want to be. And now that we are on a winning track, the Texans have to make moves that are realistic and that show that the team is wanting to be competitive in the NFL. And making the O-line trade now, while I think is out of character for the team, and I think the team is content with the players that they know and they want to grow with, making a line trade is something that we need to do. And it also shows our current guys that we mean business, even for the top guys. Yeah, it's okay to cut a guy here and there. Everybody knows the person struggled to make a team. But when you bring in top tier talent on a highly paid offensive line salary, even though the two people are highly paid or highly drafted, we have to make moves. And an O-line trade for me will be a Tuesday take. It's not necessarily hot because it's extremely realistic and there are guards on the market, but I definitely feel like the Texans need to make an O-line trade. And that's my second take on this Tuesday. My third Tuesday take is, what the hell, Bobby Slowick? Is he in over his head? So, looking at what's been going on, you have to question what Bobby Slowick is doing with the offensive scheme. You have to question it. I look at Bobby Slowick as a good offensive coordinator, maybe not the best offensive coordinator at the time. I think he has not seen enough adversity or been tested, and he's had the players to kind of play him out of questionable moments. CJ has been really good. But what we're seeing now is he lacks the ability to adapt to his current personnel. And when I say that, I mean, as a leader, if you've been in leadership school, I know I have as a military veteran or active duty military. As a leader, you have to make decisions based on your current resources. And Slowick, it's evident that Slowik is not making decisions based on his current resources due to the schemes that he is calling. And that is his job as an offensive coordinator, to call the schemes, build the culture of that team or of his side of the ball. Clearly, his offensive line is struggling to be successful. You have Green struggling, the entire offensive line struggling. Laramie Tunsil is not playing up to that salary. You have tight ends that can't chip block. You have running backs that miss assignments as well. So, with that being said, Bobby Slowick has to simplify the offense, and it's shocking me that he has not made a decision to simplify his offense. I question a lot of the things that he has been doing because, one, you're a highly touted offensive coordinator from the tree of every offensive coordinator and a coaching dad. Your dad is a coach. So everybody's high on this guy. Two, I question, are you really able to develop CJ Stroud into what he can be? I know Gerard Johnson is there providing CJ with a lot of mentorship, but is Bobby able to be that coach for CJ as they go through the season? I also have a few questions for Bobby, as in, what the hell? And when I say what the hell, I mean, God, your game management's lacking too. So you have to ask Bobby, hey, brother, your personnel's not there. The game management's not there. So what are you doing? What are you doing, Bobby? Eh, Come on, Bobby. You have to do something. So I question it and I want to know. I think Bobby Slowick a little into deep. Excuse me. Let me get it right. Is Bobby Slowick in a little too deep for his liking? So let's see what Bobby Slowick can do going forward. And it will be a test because he did not outperform DeMeco, who was down 5 players. Bobby could have never done that with the current scheming that he has. So, my third Tuesday Texans take is Bobby Slowick in over his head? I think he's getting there, but he might be able to swim out of those deep waters. My fourth Tuesday hot take, I have DeMeco needs to lay the hammer. Not a hot take, but it's a leadership take. And I've mentioned that earlier in this video. I believe DeMeco needs to lay the hammer. He's been very strategic and political in what he's been doing outwardly, but this is a time that you need to see him make those statement moves, those statement piece moves that head coaches tend to make. You see Tomlin doing things like that. You see Reed making those moves. They have to make those statement moves to go where we want to go. I want to see DeMeco stand firm, challenge Bobby, and say, hey, put your offense up there and make this offense better. He's sounding like he's getting to that point because he's saying that he needs to make some changes, but we just have to see it happen and put it on the field. Let's go. We need the tenacity that he has on defense to go throughout the whole team. The entire team needs that same type of tenacity, especially our O line, because they need to be able to pin their ears back. And it starts with the coach, the head coach, DeMeco. Show us something. Show us that we have that tenacity and grit this week against the Colts. And Texans fans, that's my Tuesday Texans take. I'm Lance Hayes, Sports Social Live. Subscribe, like, share. I'm out.